Yes, sir. We're back with another edition of Fast Break Bets. Presented by BettingPros. You know me, not voice some guys. Me, really rough, feeling rough. Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. Okay, I don't know how we pulled that one off. Not gonna lie. This is why preseason betting is dangerous. Dangerous. I just want you to know I had Bulls plus 8.5. The Bulls were down 21 points in the fourth quarter. They started the quarter down 21. They tried to make a push in the beginning. 5 minutes left in the game. The Bulls are going to the line down 21 points. Shout out to Javon Carter. Shout out Dalen Terry. Shout out to the Chicago Bulls. Because how they ended up covering this line after being down 21 with 5 minutes to go, it just proves the no quit. And it makes me feel even better about that Chicago Bulls future because for some reason, when this team probably should quit, they're not going to. They're not going to. They're gonna. This is such a play-in team. I cannot. This is a complete play-in team. They're not going to be good, but they'll be a play-in team, which means I'm probably going to back the Bulls sometimes, but I'm definitely going to fade the Bulls a good amount of times as well. All right. Because of that, I've been scared straight off of preseason for a night. I also don't have any big favorites that I want to fade. A lot of the games are a lot closer. Almost got there in that Mavericks game, and maybe I was looking at an over, and then I was kind of talking myself into the Lakers, but not 100% there yet. So I'm just going to give out two futures, and we're going to talk about the state of New York's basketball right now. But before we do that, I have to make sure that I mention to you all that Hard Rock Bet is the presenting sponsor of Fast Break Bets and Betting Pros. Regular season's almost here. Bet $5, and if it wins, you don't get just your payout. You get $150 in bonus bets on top. And since it's Wednesday, if you're already betting on Hard Rock Bet, then you know what that means. Today is the last day to use your legendary rewards drop. Go in the app, open it up. It could be a bonus bet in there. And guess what? If you use it today, you can double up tomorrow because it opens back up so you can get another reward tomorrow for the next week because a new rewards drops every single Thursday. So make sure you go get it today before the next one drops tomorrow. Download the Hard Rock Bet app today and make your first deposits. All right. Let's get into the Brooklyn Nets as the first New York team we're going to talk about here in the futures department. The Brooklyn Nets have a win total of 20.5. And I promise you, this breakdown of this win total is not going to be long. I just want to read to you a quote from the owner, Joe Tsai, the owner of the Brooklyn Nets on their strategy in 2026. We have one first-round pick in 2026, and we hope to get a good pick. You can predict what kind of strategy we will use this season. Did you just hear that? And I don't want you to think that they were just cherry picking a part of the conversation. No, this is literally what he's saying. I have to say we're in a rebuilding year. We spent all of our picks in 2025. We had 5 first-round picks this past summer. That's when he came back to say, we have one first-round pick in 2026, and we hope to get a good pick. You know, tanking, it's a phrase that a lot of people love to throw around at times when they talk about tanking. They use it with my New York Giants, and they use it in football all the time. Basketball, it is revolutionized 76ers. You talk about it all the time. Tanking has been thrown around very recently of how teams conduct themselves. And teams are to assume to be tanking. There's not many times that we actually get ownership saying, basically, we are tanking. We want a good pick this year. How do you get a good pick in the NBA? It's not by winning games. Under 20 and a half. Nothing else needs to be said about that team in Brooklyn. Nothing else needs to be said about that team in Brooklyn. Under 20 and a half wins for the Brooklyn Nets. Let me mention one more New York team and where I like the win total. And I think you all know where this is going. Bing bang. But before I do that, got to make sure that I talk to you about the Betting Pros app. Make sure you get in on the Betting Pros app. Go find your next bet over there at the Betting Pros app. Look at that, Malik Neighbors. He's out right now, but it'll give you a whole bunch of really, really good trend data about how Malik Neighbors has been doing recently, where his matchup is the next week. You can get all the info to bet all of it. And plus, you can get a whole bunch of premium info if you go and take the opportunity. All you got to do is make a deposit with the partner sportsbook over there through the Betting Pros app, and you can get 6 months of Betting Pros premium for free. Go download the Betting Pros app on iOS and Android coming soon. All right. Let's talk about my boys. Bing bang. Because I have reason to be excited this year. Now, I will temper my excitement as much, but as of right now, very objectively speaking, the Knicks are in a very good position. The Knicks did not make too much structural change aside from firing Tom Thibodeau, which I've been calling for years. And I've been saying this Knicks team needed something different, and he was not going to lead us to a championship. And it was very, very good for us to get to the NBA Finals last year. Took advantage and beat Boston when nobody else gave us a shot. I get that. However, this year under Mike Brown with this team, after getting a taste of the Eastern Conference Finals, I think they're about to go on a run. And you have question marks all over the rest of the Eastern Conference. Do you know if Philadelphia is going to stay healthy all season? No. What's going on with Darius Garland and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and what are they going to look like in another season after they got embarrassed in the first round? Okay. No Tyrese Halliburton for the Pacers. No Jason Tatum for the Celtics. Go down the list. The Eastern Conference is getting weaker. Now, some teams have stayed the same, which makes them also rise. Detroit Pistons, Orlando Magic, I think are going to be dangerous. But there's so many teams that are just not good. The Bucks, I'm not afraid of that. That is literally Giannis and nobody else on that roster. Miami Heat are the Miami Heat, a 500 team. I just talked to you about the Chicago Bulls, and I don't think they're going to be good. This New York Knicks roster rivals some of the best teams in the Western Conference. This starting five rivals some of the best teams in the Western Conference right now. And so you bring in Mike Brown. Mike Brown comes in. He's going to get the transition defense, which was a reason why the Knicks could not keep up with the Indiana Pacers in that series. He's going to get that going. Hopefully the defense doesn't take a drop off at all whatsoever. And then, offensively, if they're in the game, Brunson's going to bring it home at the end. You have a great feeling about that. I think this is going to be another good year for Jalen Brunson. Cat, very, very good year last year. I think he's going to have another great year. And guess what? This Knicks team now has a bench. You have Jordan Clarkson coming off of the bench. You have Mitchell Robinson, who is going to continue to come off the bench, may even play in the starting lineup in some matchups. And yes, he's not going to be playing on back-to-backs, but the health of Mitchell Robinson stays there, then this Knicks team has Cat and Mitchell Robinson in the front court. So you look at this, and I look at this Knicks team, and I add all of this on top of the moments where I think that it could be questionable on how they figure this out, because they got to figure out the minutes and they got to get everybody comfortable, because the starters have been so used to playing all of the minutes. They got to get everybody comfortable. They brought in Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon has looked really, really good in preseason in terms of when he's assisting Knicks the ball, they're getting wide open looks because Malcolm Brogdon is playing his role. He's being a point guard and he's taking over the non-Jalen Brunson minutes, keeping the offense rolling. I think the Knicks offense is going to be really good all year, especially if Jordan Clarkson can stay healthy coming off the bench. Him and Deuce McBride playing alongside Malcolm Brogdon off the bench, they can go on runs. And so I bring all of that all the way around to say that this Knicks team is going to be good this year. They're going to be one of those regular season powerhouses that win a lot of regular season games. I pray that translates over to the playoffs, but I think they're going to win a lot of regular season games, especially because the early part of their schedule is the easiest, and they can go ahead and stack up wins as they continue to figure out what this rotation looks like, what this team looks like, and build that culture towards the end of the season where they really make that push and finish out this win total. So give me the New York Knicks over 53.5 wins. And those are two futures that I will leave you with. Nets under 20.5, Knicks over 53.5. Pretty easy, pretty simple stuff right there. And that makes 3 win totals on the season. If you haven't checked out last episode, make sure you do it. With that, I'm at ___. Make sure you give me a follow on X at BettingPros on X and TikTok at BettingPros NFL on Instagram and YouTube.com/BettingPros, where you can comment, subscribe, have a chance to win a Penny Hardaway signed Team USA jersey at the end of the month. And with that, that is it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just getting it like this. We are out of here.